Hi friends! My sister just sent me this video. It was like an immediate, I need to know how to do this. I need to try it. I need it. I'm gonna show you it right now. She sends me this video of this melting snowman hot chocolate from Trader Joe's. You watch this video, you see that it's this cute little snowman. It is white chocolate. You put it in hot milk and it melts, and as it melts, you see the inside is filled with chocolate chips and mini dehydrated marshmallows. She sends me this and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go to Trader Joe's. I need to get them. This is so cute, amazing. I get to Trader Joe's and they don't have them. The cashier says that they sell out within a few hours. They get a crate every single morning. They sell out really quickly. If I want to get them, I should get there right when they open, which is 8 o'clock. And as she's saying this, I start thinking, and I'm like, you know what? This is just chocolate with stuff inside. Like, you just need a chocolate mold. This can't be that difficult. So the wheels start turning, right? And I'm like, I think I could make this. I think we could do a copycat recipe. So what we're gonna do is we need to just see the original one, right? So I'm gonna get my ass up, bring Violet to school, and go straight to Trader Joe's tomorrow morning. We're gonna see how they are, see how they melt, and see if we can recreate them, because copycat recipes are my jam! So now I'm gonna go to sleep. Good morning! Just dropped Violet off at school and immediately came to Trader Joe's. I walk in and trying not to look obvious that I'm looking for something. Immediately I get called out and this girl's like, are you looking for something? I said, the little snowman things. And she's basically becomes the guard of these snowmen. So she's standing off to the side with this cart with like 4 crates of these things, right? She's like, whoa, how many do you need? I said, I just want 2. I just want to know what the hype is. And then as I'm leaving, another woman comes by and asks for them, and they said that they have a limit on them of 5 per person because it's gotten so ridiculous and they've sold out so quickly. So literally, this lady's the guard of the Snowman hot chocolate. That's where we're at with these things, which is just insane. But I'm glad that I was able to get them. They are super cute. They are $1.99. I'm always amazed at the prices of Trader Joe's. I'm like, everything is a decent price. $2 for a snowman hot chocolate. It is kind of expensive, but it's like a novelty item, so it does make sense. I also saw somebody say on Twitter last night that Walmart also has their version of a hot chocolate bomb. It's probably not as cute and it probably does not taste nearly as good because just knowing Trader Joe's quality. It's okay, so I got them. So we're gonna look at them, we're gonna inspect them, and then we're gonna see if we can copy them, even if they might not entirely look the same. Okay, so here are the 2 that I got at Trader Joe's today. I got one so that when we actually create the copycat one, we can have like a actual comparison. And then I got another one because I wanted to just open it up and see, like, examine it before we get started. So we're gonna open this one because he looks like he kind of got hit with a storm or got like punched in the face. He's not as cute. So these, let's see, okay, so these are super heavy. When I was doing like my little test one last night, it was definitely a lot smaller than this. This one is like, it's got weight to it. He's also got these 2 like, there's a circle on the bottom and a circle on the top, which tells me that the mold that they use, because you can see where the seam is. I'm not really sure about this one, but this one is actually really interesting because it's another thing that I did not do. And this shows that they would seal them together first and then fill it with the chocolate and the marshmallows so that you can get more, because otherwise you could only do half and it could be messy. And the way I was doing it last night was not nearly as clean as that. Just about 3, and it even says on here, 16 grams, just about 3 ounces of chocolate. So decent amount of chocolate. It's pretty hefty feeling. And then you can see on the top here, there's just a little bit of dark chocolate. It's almost like the way that they do this is they brush this onto the mold first, let it dry, and then fill the mold with the rest with the white chocolate. I want to cut this open because I want to see how thick the chocolate is, because that was something I noticed too, is it's white chocolate. Most of the time when we have, you know, hot chocolate, it is not white chocolate. It's actually pretty thick. And then when you're inside here, you get all sorts of marshmallows and chocolate chips. Are they milk chocolate chips? Yes, they're milk chocolate drops. So that probably means that they melt easily. And then of course you have the snowman that will melt while you're doing this. The other thing I did want to mention here, real white chocolate. So it's not like when you go get cake pops or those melting drops that you might see at Joann's or places like that where it's like not real chocolate, it's meant to melt. This is actual real chocolate. Last night when I was kind of doing my little experiment, I used melting like chocolate coating. Didn't melt into the hot chocolate really well. It kind of just like created this really ugly film, which nobody wants to deal with. So one of the things we need to make sure here is that we have actual true white chocolate and we are not using the substitute that's not even real chocolate. I wanted to also see, okay, yeah, you can see here how thin that dark chocolate is. So it's definitely just like this really thin coating that they do inside and then they fill it with white chocolate. So my first attempt here was using this Christmas silicone mold, this Christmas tree one. I guess it's actually second attempt because I did first use these present and ornament ones I got from Joann's, but I wanted to try this one because it was a more simple mold. So basically the way that you do this is you fill up each of the molds completely to the top with white chocolate, and then you wait for a little bit depending on how thick you want your shell to be, and then you turn it over to get rid of all of the extra white chocolate that's in the center so that you kind of create a hollow shell. The problem I had here, I think, is that I did not wait long enough when it came to just allowing the chocolate to set on the sides because I had issues with all of them coming out of the mold completely. You can see here I got 3 out of the 8 that I made successfully. The rest of them kind of broke, which was really frustrating, but it was a good learning experience because I was able to kind of get an idea of what I need to do next time. I still wanted to make sure that I could do this, so I filled one side with marshmallows and chocolate chips. I used a hot plate to melt the edges, and then I kind of was able to glue them together just like this, and then create my concept of my little hot chocolate bomb. As you can see, this is much, much smaller than the ones from Trader Joe's, but you can just add more and, you know, it's not too hard. So let's get on to trying take 2. Before we get into take 2, I wanted to see the difference between my little Christmas tree and the Trader Joe's snowman. So the main difference is that the Trader Joe's snowman is huge and it took 3 minutes to melt. So it definitely takes a long time. The Trader Joe's footage is sped up 300% and mine on the right is just normal speed. So you can definitely see the difference there. I personally would probably use 2 of the Christmas tree sized ones for 1 cup of hot chocolate. I did find that I felt that the Trader Joe's one with 1 whole snowman in there was so overwhelming. And honestly, I didn't really love the way that the the white chocolate tasted. It tasted almost waxy. There's that. I used Ghirardelli chips, so there's that. All right, hello everybody again. So I went to Michael's, who had better molds, and I got 2 that I'm feeling confident about, plus we're gonna try a different technique. So I got these ones that are actually little snowmen. They're kind of detailed, so we will see how good they do. But then I also got these ones that are little snowflakes, which I think would be a really great idea. We're going to start with the snowman. And because this one is more detailed, I'm going to actually use a little brush to with my white chocolate, so that we can get them in there. Now, if I wanted to be like really over the top and like super detailed and stuff, I absolutely could have different colored chocolate. To start off, I'm just gonna use just straight white chocolate. I'm just gonna stick with this. The other thing I need to make sure now that I'm looking at it is that I'm putting the chocolate in the ones that actually match. So I'm gonna try 2 of them here for this. Unfortunately, what I suspected and dreaded ended up happening, which is that these broke right at the neck. When you have these kind of intricate molds like this, if they're not filled up to be a solid chocolate, they're really, really fragile. So you can see that one broke there. They all ended up breaking, even though I was being very gentle with how I took them out. And it was super, super frustrating. So these would only work if they were a solid chocolate, but that would still be delicious if you wanted to do a solid chocolate, hot chocolate bomb. You could even put dehydrated marshmallows in there. I tried that I will show you a little later, but it's still an option. Next, I tried the Snowflakes here, and this ends up, spoiler alert, being the best option overall. What I did was made sure to fill each of the molds all the way to the top with the white chocolate, and made sure using my brush that I got into all of the little lines on the bottom and all the way up the sides, and made sure that it just went all the way to the top. And then I left it for longer than I did before to make sure that it set on the sides. I also tapped on the bottom. You can see all these bubbles coming up, so that to make sure that it was completely flush, make sure that there were no bubbles once they dried. And then after a little while, I flipped them and got rid of all of the extra chocolate inside onto some parchment paper. This was super exciting because I was super nervous, but everything ended up working out really well with these ones. The only thing that you'd have to do is obviously you'd want to put more than one into a cup of hot chocolate, or hot milk basically, if you want to do something that is just the chocolate. I also have had fun kind of making hot chocolate and then using these almost as a marshmallow bomb, but if you put some mini chocolate chips in there, it's also something that can work out really well. You also can do this, which is I made solid ones and put mini marshmallows in there, and that works if you just want to solely have a white chocolate, hot chocolate, and you can see it worked really well. A rogue marshmallow got in there. Well, mostly really well for the snowman as well. So that is also an option. It'll just take a little bit longer to melt in your cup of milk. To fill them, I did the same thing I did with my Christmas tree, where I put chocolate chips and mini marshmallows into one side. Then I got my plate that's heated up so that I could melt the edges and seal it together like glue. I don't know why my camera didn't want to focus on this part, but you can see exactly what I'm doing here, just sealing them together and then running around it with my finger just to make sure that it is completely sealed. And so there you go. To make your own hot chocolate bombs, I recommend having a silicone mold that has a relatively easy shape, no high weird areas like the snowman one did, just something that's like a simple shape, like my little hexagon snowflakes. And then you just add it to a cup of warm milk, very warm milk if you want it to melt nicely. And there you go. Hope you guys try it out, and I will talk to you soon.